Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't time that quite as well as I had hoped. Welcome to New Book Who Dis. I am your host, Death Metal Hero, and with me is my homie, my friend, Mr. Michael Odin, and we are talking The Embrace. Mike, what's going on, brother?
Living the dream, hanging out. It's been a minute since I've been on your channel. I think the last time I was on here was actually I don't even know if I got on here for
Topicless,
Pyramid Camp. I
actually.
think it was the Zero issue was when I was still was.
That's right. You came on
It's
for
been
Elysian
it's
Field
been a
Zero.
minute.
That's right. It's been a minute. Yeah, actually, when you came on last time, I didn't have New Book Who Dis. I hadn't started it yet.
Yeah, you were doing what's in the box. That
Yep.
was the last time I came on.
Oh, we're gonna do another one of those as well. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's been a crazy day. I appreciate you letting me bump the time back, so we could finish out the dude stream with Jason. Ended up having Fraga jump on there, so we were winding down, and then Fraga jumped on, so we continued
Yeah,
on
and
for
then
a
it
little
just
while.
keeps going because it's Dan.
You know how it goes.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's rare that we get to hang out with our homie anymore. So, he's working hard, he's doing his thing. So you got to take the opportunity when we can. But yeah, had Rob Willis come hang out as well. It was a good time, man. It was a damn good time. So I do appreciate it. Jason, 5 hours wasn't long enough.
Nah, man.
Flying Feline is a streaming machine.
Going.
Mean streaming death machine. That's me. What's up, Silvar Ogre? Welcome. Hell leg kick. Welcome, brother. Hell Joe. Welcome, man. Thanks for coming to hang out. Good to see you guys. What's up, Bob?
Phenomenal artist. So
yeah.
Like I've seen his stuff. I've seen his Grim Reaper stuff flying around on social media and all over the place. I'm like, I might have to throw money at that guy on an upcoming campaign to cover some shit. I don't even know.
Might have to just make Hit Ray in his general direction. And no, I feel you. Do it, man. I mean, get them eyes. Get that beautiful artwork.
Yeah, 100%.
So what you been up to besides hustling for the Embrace, man? What's life been going? It's been going on.
Outside of the crazy personal stuff, which I won't go into, I've been really working hard at trying to expand the Nine Realms brand. We have, if I can talk, we recently announced a campaign charting service for up and coming Indiegogo campaigners, where we have 3 effectively tiers where I'll the base level thing, which is a trial status is I design 6 graphics for your campaign, and then there's the middle grade one where I effectively just go through and I help you plan out your campaign. I get your campaign set up, and then there's a max one where I plan out your campaign and then I help you plan out your first week of marketing.
Man, look at you go, just all kinds of stuff in the works.
And then we also I had been putting up Elysian Fields issue 0 up on Webtoon. And so we hit a huge milestone on that where we had 50 people that have signed up for the Webtoon, and we have around 14,000 reads with a 10 out of 10 rating for Elysian Fields, which is a pretty big deal. And so we announced our first ever Webtoon series, Errand of the Sable Knight. And we set up a Patreon where people can go and subscribe and get exclusive looks at all sorts of Nine Realms projects and everything like that. So we're just right now my focus is trying to build up Nine Realms as a brand so that we can be consistently putting out more and more content, and hopefully get to a point where we don't even necessarily have to be doing crowdfunding campaigns. We can just establish a website where people can go purchase books, stuff like that. At the end of the day, I feel that crowdfunding, while I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon, I think that there's going to come a point where we have to be able to adapt from crowdfunding and be able to establish ourselves and constantly be putting out content and getting it out to consumers,
Oh yeah,
without having to rely on those same methods over and over again. Because I think that, at the end of the day, that's part of a growing industry. Right now, people are happy to do it because it's part of that investment of getting that side of the industry started. But there's
sure.
going to have to come a point where we adapt.
Well, I mean, as I was saying earlier in the in the dude stream when it was we're selling ourselves as a brand.
Yeah,
It's not just the IPs that we're making. I mean, yes, that's what people are buying, but they're also buying into us. They're buying into
100%.
us as a brand. That's why the customer service angle is so important. That's why the interaction with the scene, the interaction with the people, the audience is so important. I think that's part of what is missing in the mainstream. This disconnection. Yeah, there's conventions, but I don't know, this I'm better than you because I'm on this side of the table mentality doesn't do anybody any fucking good. You know what I mean? So I mean, and I brought this up because I want to skull. I will drink to that, dude.
Dude, I have none of my liquor with me. Ugh, I made a
That's all
mistake.
right. That's all right. I probably just took a double shot, so there was enough in there for you.
Fantastic. Good to go. Good to go. Let's rock.
So what you been reading recently, man? Because I
Oh,
know I know that you're a bookivore just like me. You read voraciously.
okay. So
All right,
comic side of things.
I mean, comic, novel, whatever you want to talk
Well,
about.
like that's the thing is I honestly I'm a huge book guy, but like I haven't been reading as many books because
You've been
I'm
working.
so focused on trying to read comics and make sure
Oh,
that
okay.
like I get like I understand like I think I've backed between Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I think I've backed like almost 200 books.
Hot
Um,
damn, son. That's awesome.
and
I
so
mean,
like
and immerse yourself in the scene, right?
yeah, like I like to check out what works, what doesn't. I think
Sure.
the last thing I read comics wise was Douglas Ernst's Soul Finder 2 Black
I
Tide.
have heard nothing but good things about that.
It is fucking gorgeous. If I
And
had
the
my
pictures, yeah,
backpack here, I'd bring it out. It's a I got the hard cover, and it's got golden inlay on the pages.
right.
It's freaking gorgeous. And then I haven't read these yet, but I just got these ones in the mail. I got Gage and the Dragons tier, which is a high fantasy book that just looked really cool on
Oh,
Kickstarter.
cool.
Um, and then I got the Common America Volume 3 hardcovers.
Nice.
This is actually really funny because I wasn't expecting to like this. A buddy of mine like initially brought my attention to Common America. He's like, "Hey, look, they
Right.
made an anime waifu out of Captain America," and I went, "No,
I mean,
no."
that's an interesting, okay.
and
Interesting
and
concept.
so then I threw like a little hissy fit about it, but then what ended up happening was Kimasabi did his top 10 comics of 2020 list,
Okay.
and Common America was like number 3. And I was just like, all right, if Lee puts it up at like number 3, it's probably a really good book. And so I got a hold of the first 2 volumes right before the campaign closed. And I'll be damned if those books just didn't fucking blow my mind. I was like, this is so good.
I
Why is this
love
this
those
good?
sleeper hits, man. I love it. I love it when you're like, okay, this is going to be one way, and then it completely goes a different way, and you're like, oh, all right then. Those
Yeah.
sleeper hits that you don't expect are great. That's awesome. I don't know if you've have you checked out Gibbs Technomancer series, MK Gibson,
No, I have, dude.
dude, like seriously, I binged those in a weekend. I started because I
I'm
get my
going to
novels in
be
with audiobooks, right?
yeah.
I binged those fuckers in a weekend, all four of them, and I can't wait for the next one.
With me doing security and everything, I have the great advantage of sitting around and doing nothing for fucking 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like doing audiobooks and everything like that, it makes
Jesus.
it go by very quickly. I have been up to my eyeballs in work between stuff with the Embrace.
Right.
I've I have solicited my services out as a freelance writer, so I've written like 4 or 5 other scripts here in the past few months
Hell
for
yeah,
different
dude.
books. Um, and then, as I said, I'm working hard at trying to expand Nine Realms and get it to a point where it's not just us doing crowdfunding. We have a constant stream of revenue where we're able to, um, you know, where we're able to constantly put out content and hopefully get to a point where we're bringing in enough where we're bringing enough revenue where we can invest in other creators and their IPs and help bring them up too. Because that's always been a thing that I wanted to do with Nine Realms
Right.
there are a lot of people out there with great ideas and that second guess themselves and everything like that. And so, you know, one of the things that I really want to do is provide a helping hand through
Sure, man.
through my company and get people up there.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'm sure you'll hear it many, many times throughout my career. A rising tide lifts all boats, and I fully believe
Yeah,
that. You know, like
100%.
what good does petty squabbling get anybody?
I don't
Like,
understand why there's so much drama and bullshit in this
I don't
industry.
understand what there has to
Just
be. I
leave
mean,
the
pride,
comic.
but all right. So my homie succeeds. Like, you have a successful campaign. Why am I going to be salty about that? Like, you my homie. Like, I celebrate your success. Your success is my success.
Yeah,
Your failure is my failure. Like, I don't know, but that's just the way I think. You know. So
yeah,
that's what I want to surround myself with. I want to surround myself with people that want to lift people up. So that's cool, man. I'm excited for that, and it's gonna be fun to see what you come up with. Gonna be fun to see what you do.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, and we have a lot of really exciting stuff planned.
excellent.
As I said, we've got that webtoon series, Errand of the Sable Knight, which we already have some sneak peeks up on the Patreon, and before I close out tonight, I'll bring up the synopsis with the logo, but it has a QR code that will take you straight to the Patreon for people that are watching.
Hey, there we
Um,
go. All right, that
and
sounds awesome.
so I'll bring that up here before we close out. But like,
Oh yeah, we'll
um,
talk about that. I guess that's kind of a next project after the embrace.
yeah, well, like I have over the last year, um, I have written for Nine Realms. I have written like 4 or 5 scripts for different projects. We have, obviously a listen. We aren't even talking about the embrace scene. Calm the fuck down. I swear to God. Every
I mean,
goddamn I'm in the
Dean, do you
chat.
want to
I
come in
swear,
here? I mean, we are talking about the embrace. You're more than
like,
welcome to come
like
in.
every time, last night I come on the comics mate stream just to say hi and support people, and
Uh,
he puts on this ridiculous fucking Bill Finger video. Like, look, man, every single time that I am on any show, I make sure to correct people and let them know that Dean is my co-creator on it. I am not Bob Caning people.
uh,
Okay?
but oh man, we're gonna have to coin that. Like, put that on a shirt. Don't Bob Kane me, bro.
But anyways, hi Dean. I see you're in the chat. Cool.
Uh,
Um,
that's hilarious.
but
Yeah, completely derailed. All right.
anyways, as I was saying though, I have a whole bunch of projects that I have planned for Nine Realms, and then I'm also really excited because I'm working with Dave Brink over at Genuine Comics. I'm actually going to be writing the first mini series for American Bliss, so better known as Libertitties. Uh,
You know what? Hang on, hang on. I feel like that deserves something special. I like that title. All right. I feel like now That title is properly toasted.
But anyways, I am actually, in all seriousness, I'm very excited for that. The moment I saw the character, I really wanted to write for her, and Dave's a good friend of mine. I reached out to him like, so you told me if you ever had any character that I was interested in to just hit you up, right? And he was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, her. I want to write her. and and so yeah, we'll be having some pretty exciting announcements of that on that as well when we wrap up the Embrace campaign, and Perfect 10 wraps up their campaign as well.
Look at you being all entrepreneur and stuff. I mean, but you know
Try.
what's cool? Is that this scene kind of encourages it. It in some ways it's a necessity. It is a necessary thing, a necessity, if you will,
Mhm.
in certain circumstances. Wow, certain circumstances. Say that. Seashells down by the seashore. But no, it's necessary sometimes. And I completely derailed myself. What were we talking about, Michael?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you know what? Fuck it. Tell me about
Entrepreneurship and stuff like
oh
that.
yeah,
Okay.
this scene. Sometimes we have to be entrepreneurs. We have to be our own business. We have to be our own brand. I mean, part of being our own brand
It's not
is
even a
doing just that.
sometimes things, man.
Yeah,
There's so many of these guys that come out here with these fantastic looking books,
yeah,
but because they aren't good salesmen and because they aren't thinking about the business side of things, what ends up happening? They end up performing admirably because they've got the stuff that they need to be
sure.
successful in terms of like the art and the concept and
Visual
everything like
appeal.
that.
Yeah,
But they don't do near as well as they should because they cannot communicate, or they're not thinking about communicating to that level. And so there are all these books that come out. I mean, think of like I'm sure everyone in the chat, and even you, Luke, can think of at least three campaigns in the past year that have come out that should have broken 10K that didn't. You know,
mm,
like and why the ultimate reason for that is 9 times out of 10 they expected like, oh well, I made a book that looked sexy as hell, it has a great concept and everything, and they weren't going out there and pushing it every five
right.
seconds and
No,
that's
you got to
that's
hustle.
ultimately what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, how much does it mean to you? I mean, seriously. I mean, I saw a clip. Somebody, I want to say it was probably Lord Crackhead actually posting a clip about Malin. Talking about having that fire, like talking about wanting to, not just eke by, but punch Marvel in the nose. Like, if
Yeah.
we gonna be good, let's be fucking good. And
Yeah.
I'm all for that attitude, man. Let's be the best we can be. It's like Fraga says, be and do your best. Bring your A game. And if your A game ain't measuring up, well, then you level up your A game. Like, get good, son. To
Yeah.
to,
No,
to quote
100%.
Dark Souls. You know,
as as a fellow Souls fanatic, yeah, just get good, bro.
Yeah, get good. I mean,
Praise the
you know
sun.
what? If it, and again, I find it always comes back to this in conversations I have. Objective criticism, being able to take objective criticism, being able to take it to heart, being able to actually fucking work those recommendations into your stuff instead of like, well, I know better. I'm fucking Shakespeare and shit like that. Like, you don't know everything. Stop acting like
No.
you do, and that's why a good editor is invaluable. You
Well, and
need
I mean
somebody.
that's ultimately where the mainstream has gone wrong is they
Yes.
don't have that they have surrounded themselves in a gigantic circle jerk of people that pat themselves on the back like, yeah, this is the best thing ever. It's so
Well,
good. There's
yes
nothing
men
they
and
can do.
sycophants. Yes men and sycophants lead to destruction, downfall.
It's like it
Complacency,
yeah, no,
death.
100%. I think I told you the story. Like I think I posted it up where I got blocked by Mitch Gerard on Twitter
Hello there.
because
Welcome,
because
welcome.
I said, "Hey man, your art on these pages looks phenomenal, but the panel layout is boring, and your art
Oh
deserves
God, I
better.
remember that. I remember
And this
talking to you
dude,
about that.
this dude who is in his 40s is like
That made me
twice my
sad
fucking
too, because I
age,
really do like his work.
throws a temper tantrum
I
and
know.
blocks me on Twitter for complimenting his art, but saying, "Hey, man, as someone that also makes comics, like better than this." And on top of that, you recycled like 3 panels of art.
Well, and there are two things that I feel about that. Some people are very sensitive, especially when it comes to art, because a lot of ego goes into what you're making. I'm making this, and in your head, you're in the forest and the trees, and it's just this is you see it this way, and if somebody points out a flaw that you didn't see, if your ego's not strong enough to handle that, then you're going to take it as a personal fucking slight. You
Yeah,
know,
but like, and I'd understand if I criticized his artwork, but panel layout is up to the script, especially with them writing the DC. Like, allegedly, if Tom King, who was the guy that obviously wrote this story, because it's Mitch Gerard and they're butt buddies and they work on everything together. Like if Tom King wrote a script as like, I want you to make 9 panels evenly spread out on a page.
uh-huh.
That's not Mitch Gerard's fault. He's doing his
No,
job.
yeah.
That's Tom King's.
Ugh. Dude, the funny it's not funny, it's sad. I had a lot of people drop Batman because of Tom King. And then,
Because he's
I
an
had my
asshole.
usuals, and God bless them, God love them. I had my regulars that kept picking it up because, well, I have all of them and I've been picking them up since, this time, and I'm just like, wow.
It's
I am
because
thankful for
Tom
those
King got
people.
his editor fired. That's when his run went bad. Was when he got his editor taken off of the
See?
fucking book.
See? This is why you need an editor. This is the power of a good editor. It
Yes.
can make a shitty writer better, or at least passable.
Well, like that's the thing. Tom
I will say
King.
this: Tinian's run, just after that, people started picking the book back up.
It's because Tinian can
Hmm,
fucking write. But
I wonder.
and that's the thing about Tom King. Tom King actually can write, and when he writes good stories, they are good. The problem is that I feel that he's very much one of those people where you need to be like, okay, here's what we want you to write. Don't go out of the box.
Right.
Because the moment you allow him to go out of the box, it becomes the same fucking story over and over again on this guy effectively treating his audience like they're his fit therapist. You know, I just ugh. Anyways,
We've got Irish and Scots for discovering each other in the chat. Comics Mate says drop Batman because of Tom King. Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
fucking
blame
blame
you.
you.
And
That was
and
complete
and
fucking
Dean
shite.
and Dean and I have talked at great length about Tom King's shitty writing on his Batman run. Uh,
Writers need to give the artists the room they need. Seriously, it's a collaboration. I mean, I write and draw my own stuff, so I mean, I have since decided that I'm probably done working with other people aside from Shay. Shay and I kind of worked together to I helped her put together a dream, and I just kind of saw it in my head, so I kind of feel like I can translate that pretty well. It's just every time I've tried to do something with somebody, it's fallen apart. But anyway, I digress.
no worries.
Usually I write my own stuff, so I mean I can shorthand. Sometimes when I'm writing, even it's just instead of typing down all these words that are going to take me so much time, I can literally storyboard it out in less time and know exactly what I need to do, and then translate that to actual pages. So,
And this is the whole thing. To go back to Joe's comment, is like, if you are exclusively a writer, right?
mhm,
This is a visual medium.
absolutely.
You're the seasoning of the dish. You're the thing that's going to that's going to make people stick around and want to finish the course, right? You're the flavor. You're everything like that. That's what you bring as a writer.
Mhm.
But the visual spectacle that draws people into the dish, and everything like that, the outside presentation, that's the experience that people are here for. At the end of the day, people aren't picking up a comic book being like, "Oh, this looks cool," turning over to the back and reading the synopsis. They're
Right.
picking it up because the cover looks fucking awesome and the interior art looks solid. And
Exactly.
so at the end of the day, get the fuck over yourself and realize that until you are at a level like, say, Scott Snyder, where you've been padding 1,000 for God knows how many years up until death metal, um, like, uh, like unless you're at that level,
I'm sorry.
you are second string. You are second string on the book. It really is. That's how it is. Like your job is, yeah, you come up with the vision, you come up with
Yep.
everything like that, and it is super important because at the end of the day, what's going to keep people around isn't the art; it's going to be the storytelling.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
like
Like Joe says here, the best books have a writer and artist have a great relationship with each other, know what each other does best, and for the book and trust. It's yeah, it's a collaboration. It's almost got to be an amalgamation of talent, not just a collaboration. Like I don't know, for lack of a better term, a symbiosis. Like it's got to be a gestalt, a sum that is more than, or a total that is more than the sum of all of its parts. You know what I mean? Like that's, to me, that's what a comic is, because you have so many people, and I suppose movies are as well, but then it kind of gets diluted. In a comic, you have usually a writer, artist, or a writer, penciler, inker, letterer, colorist, right?
mm,
And then an editor. Okay. So you've got that's a pretty tight knit team. And if you can get that machine working in a fluid, just bam, bam, bam. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at Planetary. That entire run. I know you've read Planetary.
yeah, I have. Well, and to bring it in even to the topic of tonight, look at the embrace. Dean and I work very well together, and he even said it there in
Mm-hmm.
the chat. I do my best to make sure that I let him be the artist of the book.
Yep.
He is the
Absolutely,
artist of
man.
the book. At the end of the day, I have my scripts and everything. But if Dean says, "Hey, I actually have a way where I think I could make this work and be more visually appealing," I never go, "Excuse you. You need to stick to that script. You need to stick to it. And if you change anything, you're done." No, like I fucking pay him money for a reason,
Yeah.
right? And I think a lot of that has to do, like, I know that there are a lot of writers that have issues doing that. I think one of the biggest things that plays into that is my experience in the army, where it's like everyone has a role. You fulfill your role. If I'm paying you to do art,
Mm-hmm.
or if I'm paying you to do this, I expect you to do that job, and I'm not going to fucking babysit you. If you have an
Exactly.
innovate, if you have an innovation that can improve that thing, and you come to me with it, guess what? I'm gonna fucking probably greenlight it, unless it's something that are just like, I don't really like that at all.
Exactly.
And and that's the whole thing. Like that's what you really need, is that you need somebody that is able to recognize, like you need teams that are able to recognize what their role is on a book, and not be such a prima donna asshole where they feel like, "Oh, well, excuse you, I'm
Man,
so and so, what I say goes."
collaboration doesn't have room for prima donnas.
No.
Collaboration, you gotta be able to communicate. And if you can't communicate your ideas clear enough, then maybe you shouldn't be. Maybe you need to work on that. I don't want to tell
Probably.
anybody what they shouldn't be. I would recommend working on that so you can communicate your ideas better, get them across clearly and concisely. That way, communication isn't the problem. It's just polishing the ideas. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. Sorry, I got distracted by El Gargoyle's comment, which is, I mean, the Grim Reaper and Witch Hunter team literally
Yeah.
fuck each other.
Well, I mean,
I
that's
mean, hey,
because they're
man, whatever
married.
floats
They've
your
got
guys'
a,
boat,
a beautiful
I'm not
child
here to
because of
judge.
that. So,
You
I mean,
you enjoy that comic book
not
orgy.
only are they making awesome comics, they're also making awesome little humans as well. So there you go. Hey, man, they do it all. A symbiote of ghosts.
Yeah, and
And
then,
go ahead. Where did the hell did it go? Gargoyle also said something. Oh, here it is. Off topic. Would you get Sleazy Pete on your show? Are you talking about Sleazy P Martini from Guar? I don't know because that's the only Sleazy P that I know, or Sleazy Pete. Let me say. Anyway, I would totally talk to Sleazy P Martini, but I don't know who Sleazy Pete is. Anyway,
Waiting for verification on that. Well,
right?
with Dean bringing up a symbiote of ghosts, I think that might actually be a pretty good way to segue into our
I
campaign.
think
So let's
so,
rock
man.
that up.
Absolutely. Very good, Dean. Very good. We appreciate you.
Yes, yes, yes. Keeping us on task here.
On task here. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Actually, I'm
yes.
I'm very much enjoying the conversation that we're having, though. So, I mean, dude, you're more than welcome to come hang out on topic lists. I'm going to be hosting.
I know it's one of those things, man. Like, look, I work I work so much, and
Oh, I
freaking
know, dude.
some like I have jack shit signal at work. Like
Oh, well, yeah.
some,
No, I don't doubt it. Well,
sometimes it's doing good, and other times like I literally am lucky if I'm able to call my parents to let them know, like, hey, I'm getting held over
damn.
tonight. But
That's
don't
brutal,
lock the
man.
door.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Joe says, I write the story plot and pencil Reaper Destroyer, but I work with a writer to help me with character building and pacing, and a legend inker like Joe Weems to bring that extra flavor. Hot damn, dude. Joe's great.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Joe is great. Weems' stuff. I mean, I have seen that name across so many comics
Dude,
in my collection. He's so
Reaper
good.
has one of the sexiest designs that's out there in the indie scene. I'm not even gonna bullshit. Like that's a character that like I'm very much looking forward to see come to life in some
Hell
comics.
yeah.
Um
I'm gonna have to look that one up. I know I've
yeah,
seen
man,
it, but
like
I got to make sure
if you
that I backed
follow
it.
no, his campaign's not live yet. He hasn't
Oh,
launched his campaign yet. But like if
good,
you go to his
good.
Twitter and everything, his artwork for it and everything is all over the place. And it's like Azrael meets Spawn is kind of what it from an
Ooh.
aesthetic standpoint. It looks fucking
Really?
sick.
All
Um
right.
and
All right.
I don't like Azrael. So you know what? I'm gonna change that. It's like Phantasm meets Spawn because Azrael's an asshat. Screw Jean Paul Finlay. Um but like
Uh,
that's what you kind of get from the aesthetic of it is it's really good. But we're not here to promote Joe Sontag as
no.
and
I'm
you're
gonna look at
welcome,
this
Joe.
later.
Credit
Yeah.
credit where credit's
Joe,
due.
you
Let's
thank Mr. Odin here.
let's talk let's talk the embrace.
Hold up. Let's run the trailer for
Oh,
The
actually, really quickly
Embrace.
before we do that, I see Silvar Ogre in the chat saying I lost my pre-launch link. Is there a way to confirm I was on the list and get that link again, or is it too late? Okay, so here's the deal, Silver. I think you're friends with me on Twitter. Just hit me up. The pre-launch thing is just that Jim O'Reilly pinup, and I'll make sure that our distributor knows that you'll have me. So just give me the email that you backed the campaign under, and I'll make sure that email gets the free O'Reilly pinup. All right, bud. So
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty easy when it comes down to that. Like I 100% believe you. These things happen all the time. I had one person from Pyramid Gambit that apparently was on the pre-launch list, but they used a different email to back the book. And I was like, I don't know what you want. Like I've already shipped you the thing, and I don't have more of those pinups. I'll do what I can to get you one, but like, please make sure that you get a hold of me about these things beforehand.
Right. Just as early as possible. Please contact me so I can fix this.
um,
Seriously. Yeah.
and
In demand with the embrace, Joe wants to know.
we'll talk about that in a sec. Let's first get this trailer going, and we'll talk about the campaign a bit. I'm gonna hold you in suspense a little bit, Joe. Just give me a minute.
Suspense. Oh my. Don't die from the suspense. All right, here we go. Trailer time.
The sound's not on, Luke.
Okay. Oh, damn it. Ha! All right. Just kidding. Just kidding. Take two. Action. And okay. There we go. Ha! Didn't boomer it. Now you can see what kind of weird shit I watch on YouTube. Bunch of Linus Tech Tips. Anyway.
Yeah.
The Embrace. So, tell us what the inspiration for the Embrace is here, homie.
So, one of my favorite comic books of all time is James O'Barr's The Crow. It's a huge creative influence for me. And as much as I love the movie, the book blows it out of the water to an up-tillionth degree.
Tone, mood, yeah.
2020 was a rough year for a lot of people, but for me, it's like I got into comics, which was great, but it also saw the end of my marriage. And I've got a 3-year-old kid. And so I've been going through a lot, and it doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how amicable that you try to make these things go.
Yeah,
and there's just a lot of hurt.
Oh yeah, so, I mean, sometimes there's no getting around the hurt. But that's
so the. But yeah, so the Embrace was kind of born out of that place, and it was me trying to direct that hurt into something constructive and into something meaningful, and that's where the Embrace came from. Sorry, I got distracted by the chats where they're asking where my add-ons are. There was
I know. I ain't highlighting that on purpose because we'll get to it. Shit.
Well, I goofed because Dean asked me to add this one add-on here in particular, and so now I am making sure that we have that here real quick.
Okay, that I'm gonna have to reload the page, right?
It's an add-on.
Oh, in the back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like it.
Okay. While you're doing that, you want me to read your little synopsis here?
Yeah, going ahead. Sorry about that.
Nah, no worries, man. If you're a fan of dark hero stories in the vein of James O'Barr's The Crow or Todd McFarlane and Robert Kirkman's Haunt, The Embrace is the book for you. The Embrace is 40 page or The Embrace has 40 pages of story developed by some of the best up and coming talent in the industry. The Embrace is a story about loss, fatherhood, and justice as a father gets saved by the ghost of his son. No father should have to bury their son. But life sometimes doesn't play out the way it should. It's been a year since the mugging that robbed Clarence Griffin of both his dignity and his son, David. The police closing the case, Clarence revisits the last place he was with his son with every intent on taking his own life. However, as he arrives, he is stopped by the ghost of David, and in the embrace of his child's spirit, he not only receives a vision revealing the people responsible, but a suit that protects him from harm and grants him abilities. Now, father and son hunt down the criminals responsible for this tragedy and bring them to justice. The Embrace. Wow, look at that page. Damn.
Yeah. It's
this looks great, man. No, don't be sorry. I'm just scrolling through, drooling all over the artwork. You keep keep doing what you're doing.
Give me two shakes, and then here we
go. do you want to come in here and talk about the pages and what you're doing? Like, since he's adding stuff and whatnot. Heh, there you where are you at? Ha. Uh, There you go, homie.
All right, we're
Leg Kick
good.
wants to know if
It's
this is going
updated.
to be ongoing.
Anyways, we are good.
Excellent. Leg Kick
Add-ons
wants
are
to know if it's
there.
going to be an
Gargoyle,
ongoing.
Dean. So we just added on a thing that allows people to pick their cover, pick an additional cover for the Embrace. So because we had a lot of really great ones. Now, what I will say is that it only gives me the option to do to have you choose between three different ones. So if you ended up wanting to get, so I did A, B, and C, which is
Mm-hmm.
A would be the cover A, B would be the O'Reilly B variant, and C would be that special edition. If you want the special edition variant, just to include that in the notes on your delivery, um, because it doesn't let me do four. Um, I was trying. That's why I was getting all flustered there on the screen.
Yeah,
But
you're good,
anyways,
man. You're good. Yeah, these
so
pages are great, man.
dude, Paul Billick, man, Paul and Dean have this fantastic chemistry on the page.
This is what I'm
Paul's
talking
color
about.
work really lends itself to Dean's lines
Mm-hmm.
brilliantly, and the
This page in
emotion that
particular.
comes through. Dude,
Yeah,
this page is so badass, but it's also like one of the funniest moments in the book. Like people are going to be very surprised at what's being said here.
cool. And
Um,
what you were saying about the colors and the line work, that's something we were talking about on Jason's show earlier. Sometimes like colors can way override the line work, and me and Will we were talking and we were talking about how and Plagal, we were talking about how sometimes it looks like a candy shell and it's almost overwrought and overdone and it overrides the pencils. And I'm like, no, I want to see the line work. I want to see the ink work. I want to see this. This is great. I love the symbiosis, the collaboration between the two. It's awesome, man. It's looking very good. El Gargoyle says number 169, key 69.
ooh, I assume that means that that's his backer number.
I'm guessing. That would
I
that
think
would be
so.
my guess. And very proud of the 69, of course.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
but
So go ahead.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
you
like
got characters.
I
All
did
right.
see Dean asked me about the fly. So if you scroll up, Dean constantly wants me to talk about this because this is probably one of his favorite things that he
Ah.
inputted was this page in the script is
Mhm.
completely different. Um, and Dean had this fantastic thing when he was initially drawing. He's like, what if I had like a fly buzzing around and then
Mhm.
like have the reflection of the fly's eye serve as a panel to give you a view of everything and have like the fly kind of play this secondary role in the story that's going on in these pages. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let's rock with it. And the results were fantastic. And it's crazy how this developed because like initially, when he initially did it, there was just a full on panel that was the reflection of the fly's eye. But then he completely cut that out and he had it be the panel is effectively that close up on the fly's head,
Yeah.
and so you see the reflection of the police chief Captain Stone talking with Clarence
Yeah.
and giving him some bad news.
Yeah. I love how do I put it? Like odd panel use, like odd panel creation. I love stuff like this. That I mean, this is something that I suppose you could do in cinema, but to me, stuff like this, because you can actually look at this longer.
It
This is something unique to comics.
hundred
Using
percent.
a close up like this as a I don't know as a panel and a storytelling mechanic. Again, I suppose you can do it in film, but I don't feel like it has the same kind of impact. You know what I mean?
No, 100%, and that's one of those things. And Dean is, if I were to highlight Dean's strengths as an artist in this book, I would honestly put his panel layout as like I have worked with quite a few different artists at this point for different projects, and I've seen what they can do. Dean's sense of page anatomy and what he can do with that page space
Mm-hmm.
is probably some of the best I've seen. Like
And they look at
his
this
line.
page is moody as hell right here. I love it.
Oh, it's
You
so
know,
good.
and the colors, this glow effect. I mean,
this was the page that got Paul Bellick the job.
I
I'm not
see
even bullshitting.
why, man.
But so we had a different colorist initially, Avery Ferdinand, who I've worked
Mm,
with on a few things. Like he's working with me on Errand of the Sable Knight. He's
right.
phenomenal. He's I brought him on for Elysian Fields to be our dedicated colorist for that. So if you got the remastered version of Elysian Fields during the first 30 days, like that's you're going to get to see how the colors in that book are going to look from here on out. And Avery's great, but
Excellent.
like the unfortunate thing is that it doesn't matter how much you like working with a colorist. Sometimes you're just not the right guy for the project. And
Got to be
unfortunately,
objective about shit too.
yeah, how Avery colored the book was just didn't fall in line with what Dean and I were hoping for with it. And so we ended up having to get somebody else. And so we were recommended Paul, who worked with Rob Willis on Shinobi Sasquatch. And
Yes, that
we
book is
got
going to
this
be
page, and
fucking
like
fantastic.
this is one of the most important pages like in the book.
Yeah,
This starts one of the most important segments of the book, and it's
yeah,
a super emotional page, and we're like, okay, like this has to be handled perfectly.
yeah.
And so we sent this one out to a few people, and we were hoping that Paul would get it, but like he was amongst like I think three people that we sent it to, and the first guy didn't get back to us. The second guy, his colors were good, but they weren't quite what we were looking for. But then Paul's came in, and it was literally perfection. It was like yep, 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 colorist.
That's awesome. No, I really the mood and like you said, it's an emotional scene. The colors nail it. Like it seems dour. You can look at the character's face, not just like the lines and the heavy blacks that Dean put in, but the colors actually add to it. They build upon it, kind of I don't know, amplify. I keep getting drawn back to the top part up there with the light coming in the back window of the car, and the contrast of the light coming from the side on his cheek. It perfectly complements the shadows of the cheekbones. Like I don't know. I when I see good stuff like this, it's always fun to look at and see the thought process in. You dig?
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
good call. Good call.
Joe just apparently back. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate the support. If you refresh the page, we're now at $8,852.
Oh shit. Hang
So
on.
we're $150 away from 9K. You guys are fucking awesome. Um, that's huge.
There it
Um,
is.
if we
156 backers.
if we're able to if we're able to get 9K by the end of the weekend, I'll raffle off a piece of original art for a character that I haven't announced yet.
Yeah, that's less than $150 away.
And
Less
it's
than
on here. Hold on.
$150 away.
So it's in this sketchbook. I won't show off the drawing here, but it's a character sheet that I've done on there. And it's a 400 series, 18 by 24 inch. So you'll get a character sheet of an original character that I have drawn from this if we hit 9K. Whoever, it'll be raffled. But so like, it won't be that backer that puts us over, but like we'll raffle it out.
Nice. You guys rock. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here and backing this awesome project. See, look at this. And then
dude,
no lights around, more emotional scene, but the glow and the shadows.
These pages are going the
this.
pages that are right around this are going to break people's fucking hearts. Dean has been like this is the first time you see David in the book. Like this is actively the first page where David appears in the book.
Okay.
Like you know that he's dead.
Right.
And you've seen like his little memorial. This is the first time that you see David in the book. And right after this, as I mentioned in the synopsis, Clarence gets a revelation of the people who are responsible. It's like right after this, your next experience with David is watching him die. These sets of pages are really gonna fuck people up.
I just the face, the emoting, that's another thing that I always notice. Ryan Stegman, he is really good at emoting. In some of his recent, what was it? Absolute Carnage stuff, the first one with Spider-Man and Eddie Brock sitting in a diner, just the emoting with the hands and then the facial expressions and whatnot. There's a lot of great emoting in that, where is it? There it is. Okay. You can't see the pointer in this panel right here, and that's going to sell the emotional punch. Reading something is one thing, but reading it and then seeing it actually come through the page and then be able to deliver that punch is important.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that. I just saw Joe Sontag. I'm a father of a 2-year-old. If you make me cry reading this, I'm going to be pissed. You're going to be very angry at me, Joe. I'm a father of a 3-year-old myself. Like, to give you a little bit of a backstory on that, like, so with me having a 3-year-old, to go from being with my kid 7 days a week and being with him all the time, to having to drop him off, to having to like see him cry and everything because he doesn't want to go, and having to deal with all of that. There's a lot of hurt there, and so I channel that, and you get a genuine sense of loss and everything with how Clarence is in this book.
I mean, we write what we know, man. That is verisimilitude. That is what that is, man.
The editor for this book, Lee Byron Carver, who's also a father of multiple children. His first thing that he said to me is like, "This is a fantastic script. I'm not going to lie to you. You almost brought me to tears several times as a father."
Yeah.
And so like this is going to be something.
You're going to be so pissed. Well, damn it.
Oh, Silvar. I'm so sorry. Like in all seriousness, man, I don't have words.
Damn. I don't have any kids, so I've got kids that are close to me, my friends' kids, but I have absolutely no point of reference. And I can only imagine, that type of loss. Dude. But that's why, stuff like this is important. Like books, I don't know, books that have soul, that have heart, but are going to tell you a good story as well,
and that's
Get
the
this
other thing
fucking
is
page.
I know that we've talked about like how depressing that aspect of this is, but I do want people
Sure.
to take a little bit of solace in this, is that at the end of the day, this isn't a book of revenants. It's not a book of
Mhm.
vengeful spirits. It's a superhero book at its core. David is not a bitter ghost. David is a 8-year-old boy who sees his dad in pain and wants to save his dad. This is a story about justice, not vengeance. So there is a levity
Mm,
to it that makes it unique,
excellent.
and that's where it distinguishes itself from things like The Crow, and
Okay.
those darker stories, is that while it takes its tone and aesthetic from those things and delve into that darker, um, does delve into that darker realm,
Yeah.
David is the light of this book, and that's entirely the point. Is because our children are the best parts of ourselves, and that's something that I really want to hammer home with the embrace. And, I saw a question earlier from, I think, Leg Kick in the chat, that had asked if this was going to be ongoing, and it is a mini series. This is the first issue of like a maximum of 10. I have it planned for around 5, but like the farthest I would take it is 10 books. Because I do want, like, there's a point that I want to make with this story, and I feel
Right.
like if you drag out something like this too long, it loses its potency, it loses the
Yes.
resonance that it could have. Um,
Exactly what I was gonna say, dude. Yes, 100%.
and
You gotta have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
like it,
Um,
like, but yeah, and that's not to say that there aren't other versions of the embrace that we might play with, because this, like, there are multiple different crows other than Eric Draven. There are multiple different iterations. And very similarly, the embrace has that kind of connotation where, you know, this isn't necessarily the first time this has happened. This isn't necessarily the last time it'll happen between people. It all just depends on the bond. Um, but like that's that. But as far as the story of David and Clarence, this story is contained, and I really hope that at the end of this story really just resonates with people, gives them a bit of hope, makes them, appreciate their children that much more, and makes them want to be the best versions of themselves that they can be for their children.
absolutely. Impact, man. Wow. And I don't know. I'm listening to you talk, and I'm looking at this page in particular. I mean, this page is very very eye catching. I'm
It
getting
is.
drawn in, and I'm excited to see where you go with this story, man. And a couple of questions popped up in my head while you were talking. Story wise, is this like a PG-13? Is this an all ages thing? What are we
I
looking
would
at? Because I
I
mean,
would
I threw
say
up the contains adult content because
I would honestly put it at
it's
like
me. Yeah.
I would put it like TV for because it's the closest thing to it. It's a little bit too heavy for PG-13, but
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like flat out R. Um,
Gotcha.
there's a lot of dark content in it, and I think that those themes and everything would definitely make it for more mature readers. I wouldn't let someone under the age of 16 read this.
Right.
Um, but uh, at the end of the day, as I went to before, is this is a superhero book. This
Right.
is um this is what it is, uh at its core, because there is a child who wants to save his dad, and there's a child who
So
wants to bring out the best.
that's why the costume.
Yes, and that's
Yeah. The
yeah,
suit
and
only looks
that's
like
why
a
the
super
cost.
suit because David loved comics. If it happened 150 years ago, the embrace was probably a spooky cowboy or something.
Yeah,
Very
like
cool. All
it
right.
just it would all depend on the personalities of the people involved.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm. That's awesome. I love the concept, dude. I love the concept. Um, I mean, obviously, I did some fan art for it, so I love the design as well. You know, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, I will be coloring that piece. You know,
Dude,
and
so excited to see it, man. Seriously, and like the amount of fantastic fan art that we've gotten, man.
yeah,
I like
dude.
I
There's
have
the
no words.
O'Reilly print, guys. That's
Yeah,
the print he was talking about earlier. That's awesome.
and so that's our B variant, and much to Dean's dismay, we had the voting poll of holofoil cover, which holofoil pattern we would be using for the B variant,
Hmm.
and the shattered glass won, much to Dean's dismay. He's not happy about it. That's literally his least favorite. uh, my two personal favorites. Now that the poll is over, and I can't sway anything with my own personal opinion on it. My two favorite were the lava and the shattered glass. Um, but Dean's in there going like, just fucking kill me already. uh, but
What?
hold
Don't
on.
don't like? I saw the poll. I saw the poll. What's the matter? What's the matter, Dean?
What
You don't
we'll
like the
do is
shattered glass?
I'm here's that. Where's the shattered glass one?
And this Barton Brothers cover. Wow, look at that.
That Barton brother cover is sexy.
That's hot.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Ooh.
going to share the screen here. So
All
as
right.
when we hit our 4,500 stretch goal, um,
Damn. Right there.
we
Holofoil B variant. The Jim O'Reilly and Sigmund Torre variant.
we ended
Give
up
way to the
unlocking
sexy holofoil cover.
this holofoil variant.
Like a
Um,
diss.
Will's in the chat
Ooh.
saying, "Did you
Oh,
endear
right.
deliver my message to
Right.
Odin?" If he's talking about the Twitter thing where he said,
No,
go fuck
uh,
ourselves."
Will told me to tell you, Michael, you're an asshole.
How? What did I do?
That's what you said, right? Will, right? Okay. No, I hadn't delivered your message. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if I fucked it up. But oh wow, look at that.
So this is the shattered glass. Um, the sample cover of this is going to be sent to somebody along, and we have the other samples as well are being raffled out to backers from the first 60 days. So if you back here within the next 13 days, you have a chance at winning one of these sample covers.
Ooh.
And yeah,
Oh, like are they going to be like on an uncut sheet like that?
I think he's cutting. I think maybe he's
Okay,
like
this.
cutting it up and what have you, and then is gonna send me the samples, and then it'll be like,
Oh, gotcha, gotcha,
well,
gotcha.
we're
Okay.
going to like the shattered glass one. We're going to raffle off on the closing out stream. Uh, thanks, Will.
I mean, look at the icon. I mean, it's a
I
little,
like it. It's good stuff.
critter. He's a little critter, you know.
Um, so like the shattered glass one will get raffled out during our closing stream to a backer who backed on that stream, and
Nice.
then the rest of them will be raffled out to the backers from the first 60 days. Um,
Very
so
cool.
everyone has a chance to win one.
You hear that? Everybody's got a chance.
Will saying he's just mad I have yet to receive my embrace in biblical terms. Hey man, I told you what that cost would be for that, and you said that that was out of your budget. So, I mean, everyone's got a price. I told you mine. Sorry, bud. Um,
Wow. All right. So see now the contains adult content was appropriate. Hmm.
bingo. I aim to please, man.
Ryan Cardinal says Spooky Cowboy was the name of my wrestling finishing move.
Badass. I love
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
it.
But I mean, I can only imagine. See, I'm not super familiar with wrestling. Like I'm familiar peripherally. You know, people around me have liked wrestling, but I've never really watched it. So, you know. All right, so that what you just showed us was the holofoil B variant, and
Yes.
sexy
And
holofoil.
so what we also have is we have this collector box. So if you back
Mhm.
the one of each tier, you get this sexy collector box that we have had done up. We had a
I
lot of
believe it
great.
says stunning right here, sir.
Yeah, you
Not
know
sexy,
what? Okay,
stunning.
it's a campaign for public use. Okay, so we're on a TVMA stream. I'm gonna use sexy because I want to. Anyways,
Sexy, super sexy
like how
collector. Hey, say that 3 times fast. Super sexy collector. Super sexy collector.
super sexy collector, super sexy collector, super sexy collector.
There you
Did it.
go. All right. Super
Bingo,
sexy collector
motherfucker.
box. There you go. All right.
Anyways,
12 by
um
9 by 2 with box art done by Derek Clay.
this is done by Derek Clay. Derek was one of the people that submitted fan art for that fan art contest. His piece was really, really close to being in the top three. And when I was designing this collector box, initially I was going to use the main cover or the special edition cover, but then I
Mhm.
remembered that I got this piece and it just looked so good. Go on ahead and play that so you guys can see the 3D mock-up of this thing.
Full screen is unavailable. What kind of shit is that?
I don't have answers for you.
Okay, that's fine. That's still really cool. Nice. I
And
am
then
I am I am digging all this prestige stuff. Wow. And see, that's something you can put up your on your shelf. You know, that
yep.
has a spine. You know, it has a spine. You can put it up on your shelf and put it with the rest of your graphic novels. Build that
Now,
library.
so this cover was unlocked at 6K. It was our secret cover. And this is a B variant for our special edition. Now,
Wow.
here's the
I
deal.
like that.
This graphic is just a placeholder
Uh-huh.
because Entertainment Madness, who's coloring this, has
Max.
the line work was done by Von Randall.
Uh-huh.
He printed out the line work onto canvas and is doing a mixed media acrylic and watercolor painting. So
Of
this is
course
what the
Max is.
this is kind of what we were going for. This is what he was going for through the digital color. So we're
Uh-huh.
using that as the mock-up, but the actual cover will
Okay.
be a scan of his mixed media painted cover. And
Oh, y'all are gonna want to jump on that.
so this
Max
is
does
this is
fantastic work.
this is an homage to the Crow. This was actually the original cover that
Yeah.
they had for the Crow.
They
Um,
also used it, I believe, for the first printing of the graphic novel.
yeah, that's
Or I
that's
mean, not
that's what it was
the
like.
collected edition, the
Yeah,
trade.
like it was the one with him like effectively coming out of the grave.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow, that line work is great.
yeah, Von Randall did the cover for the black and white cut of Elysian Fields
Right.
and was phenomenal. And Avery Ferdinand ended up coloring it, and it's our cover for the remaster of Elysian Fields. And so I hit Vaughn up, and I was like, I think that you'd be the perfect person to handle this homage. And he was like, I'm all down. And he knocked the line work out of the park. I got it over to Max, and I told him what I was hoping to do. And he was like, "Yes, I'll do it."
Yes. That's awesome. I'm excited that you got Max to do this. Max does
he entered
phenomenal
the
work.
fan art contest. He was in the
Yeah.
top three.
Yeah.
He
Oh
he
yeah.
he probably would have won, but the piece he submitted in for was our villain. It was Pablo,
Hey,
and so like
gotta give the
Dean
villains
and
some love sometimes, you know.
Dean and I were talking about it. I was like, so this piece is phenomenal,
Of course.
but there's one
But
big problem here.
It's the
and that is
villain.
that this is an Embrace fan art contest. And while technically this is a character from the book, it's not a
this
character.
is this is not who we are. Oh, I know. I understand the predicament. I understand completely, man. But
Oh man.
wow. Okay. I know I say this on just about every stream. I want this, like this image, once Max gets it done, I want it on a shirt. Like
I mean
the
that's
with
that
without
might be something that might
without
be
without
something
any
that we
trade
can.
dress, just like and then the embrace on the back, on the collar back here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
no,
about?
like, and that might be something that I do for a future campaign because, like, you are not the first person that has
Dude,
asked me about. Hey, do you
set up
have
not what is it? Crypto fashion or something like that. The shirt, my Monster MD shirt that I got from Von Klaus. Love that shirt. It's one of my favorite fucking shirts. You know, it's nice and soft, it wears great. Yeah. So just a thought. I mean, I love t-shirts. I collect them kind of like I collect comics, except I have a tendency to cut the sleeves off of them. So
Yeah.
uh but dude, so what dude where are we at? Where are we at? You are at hang on a second. I
We're
want to
at
go to that point.
8,882. We are
Okay. So
$20 away from 9K.
look at that warp speed. So where are we? This is okay. Tell me about this partnership with David Brink's Perfect 10.
Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream,
God,
at the
Russ is
beginning of
so
the
damn
stream,
good.
yeah, I know Russ is phenomenal.
Russ is
So,
great.
so Dave is one of the big reasons why I actually got into this industry. He's the person that introduced me to Shay.
Oh,
Um,
awesome. Okay.
Da- uh, Dave, I've said this before. You know, I got into this industry writing, you know, industry journal. I was an industry journalist, and at the
Hmm.
time, I was working for Up Your Geek. I was trying. I had just started my campaign for Elysian Fields, and I was trying to get some clout, and so I was offering to do reviews of indie books. Um, for and everything, and I was like, you know, I'm non-biased. I'm not going to write you a puff piece. If I don't like your book, I will fucking tear it apart. And I
Right.
let people know that. And Dave gave me a digital Perfect 10, and so I wrote. I was blown away by it. It's a beautiful book, and I wrote my review, and it got him some publicity, and then, you know, he sent me another one for his book Sleeper Agent, which I fucking adored as well, and I think I
Oh,
actually
awesome.
like Sleeper Agent better than I like Perfect 10. Um, and you know, he and I became just really good friends, and we talked to each other a lot. And I came up with Dean and I came up with this concept of the embrace and everything like that. I came up with the original concept. He came up with this design, and we are starting to share it around. And we got a lot of positive buzz off of it. And he hits me up and is like, "Hey, what's going on with this character?" And so we're talking about it. It's like, he was like, you know, I'm looking at launching Perfect 10 issue two's campaign in March, and I went, I could probably get a campaign ready by then.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a
I
cross
got
promotion?
time. Hell
Um,
yeah.
and he was like, hell yeah. And so, you know, I've become very good friends through the Indie Vault network with Russ Leach, and so I love Russ. He and I have always talked about working on something together. So I fucking hit him up. I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of Perfect 10? He's like, yes, I backed the first issue. Great book.
Nice.
And so I was like, well, he and I are looking at doing a partnership, and I think you'd be perfect to do a cross promotion pinup. And so the way this works is that if you back within these first 60 days, and you back both the Embrace and you
Hmm.
back Perfect 10, issue 2,
Hmm.
you will get this pinup with your fulfillment of the Embrace. Um, I already have it set up where, you know, Dave and I are going to be sending our order lists to Critical Blast, who's handling the fulfillment, and he's going to let me know how many of these pinups we need, and then he's taking care of it from there. Um, and so yeah, it's just too simple. Just back both campaigns. We have it handled on our end.
Excellent. See, that's part of this whole customer service thing, making it easy for creators to get the product to the customer, always a
You
good
know,
thing,
the other big thing about this is that at the end of the day, there are so many of us that are in the level of creation that we're that I'm at, high 4K heading into 5K, high four figure heading into 5 figure territory, where
right.
like got these guys that are constantly looking out for handouts from other bigger creators rather than being innovative and talking to other creators in the same tier as them and figuring a way to cross each other's fucking platforms. Because at the end of the day, that's going to do us far more favors
Hmm.
than hoping one of these bigwigs will notice us will. And that's
We
not to say
Yeah.
that that any of us are against going on any of those guys'
Well, of
shows,
course
or
not.
if we
But
tell them to go piss off. But at the end of the day, you make your own way. And in this industry,
exactly.
you fucking fight for every dollar.
Well,
And this
and
is
that's what Coach was saying. That's what Malin was saying the other day. You can be the best you can. Do your thing. You can't expect somebody to I don't know, pull you along. You can't ride coattails, man. You got it.
no, not at
This
all.
is merit based. You succeed or fail based on the quality of the product you put out, and that's the way it should be. You
And
know.
if you even scroll up a little bit right before the pinup, you'll notice every single person involved with it has
Mhm.
hyperlinks to their campaigns.
Perfect
Every
10.
single
Only
one of
death
them.
can
You
save
click
us.
that
Yep.
perfect 10, it brings you the perfect 10 campaign. You click only death can save us, it brings you to Russ Leach's campaign.
Russ
That's
is
three
awesome.
fucking ways of promotion right
Hmm.
there.
Well, and different audiences. Yes, there is likely a Venn diagram of of your overlap in audience, but there are people that follow you that may not have ever heard of Perfect 10, might not be familiar
Yeah.
with Russ Leach, or only Death Can Save Us, and
And
vice versa.
and I know that that's the case because I actually had a whole bunch of people that backed both books solely because they had been following the Embrace, and they're like, "Well, I love Russ Leach's art. I'm not gonna fucking waste an opportunity to get that."
Oh hell no.
like,
Uh,
like,
hey,
like,
when
what's this
opportunity knocks,
perfect
you got to
10 book?
capitalize. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Yeah. Let's see. I think is that what you're saying, Dean? You'll use
He
this.
was talking about the Entertainment Madness cult, like
Ah,
that
okay.
finished thing. And then,
Excellent.
speaking of that, at 8K we unlocked, and I didn't put it up here on the campaign yet, but it's something that I need to. I've just been so swamped with a whole bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, where we have hired Booty Juice to do a piece that will serve as a mini print for people, and then if we hit 10K, that'll be one of the the metal cards that we're gonna have Phoenix do.
Nice. Very nice. And speaking of my boy Plagal earlier, the fan art,
Dude,
uh,
he did such a great job on this piece. It was
he's such a
stellar.
talented bastard. I love that man.
And so
He's so good.
if you backed in the first 30 days, you got this thing for free. It's not
Nice.
available like it was only available as a free early bird special for the
Exclusive,
first 30 days.
friend.
Exclusive friend.
That's
Uh,
right.
I
Go
love
sign
Dan.
up for
He's
Goblin
such a
Girl now on Indiegogo. No, I'm excited for this whole thing. I had a lot of fun drawing your character, and I like I said when I was doing my piece, I was just getting back into doing the digital, and I learned a lot. So I'm there may be more fan art inbound. Just saying, gonna color
Hey
that
man,
one, and there may be more inbound. Just throwing that
dude.
out
I mean, I am like neither Dean nor I will ever say no to more fan art.
there. Awesome.
like,
Excellent, because I'm having a lot of fun with doing these various CG characters. There, I've had a few ideas. I see some, and I've had a couple of ideas in my head that I'm finally, getting around to working on. So it's fun, man. It's fun. So 75,000. What was the second secret? Since you're at 8,000.
Dean kind of mentioned it. He's doing
Uh-huh.
signed book. He's doing signed bookmarks, and we got a hold of. He had jokingly talked about finding those freaking rubber sticky hands with the string that you throw at
Yes.
people, and he'd be like,
Yeah.
"Does anyone know where we could find those, but them be glow in the dark?"
Oh
And
Lord.
he found them.
Ha. Ha.
So
Nice.
everyone's getting glow in the dark sticky hands.
Glow in the dark sticky hands, y'all. That's see? I mean, that's fun. I mean, I
Yeah, we're
would
having a good time.
yeah, well, I mean, that's part of what this is about, right? I mean, we're telling good stories and, yeah, it's a business, but also and it's a job, but it's a fun job. And we gotta keep that in mind as well. I mean, we're crafting entertainment, so we gotta make sure that the audience is entertained because we have seen what happens when the audience is not entertained. Excuse me. Sorry.
Industry as a whole. Oh,
Yeah.
oh God.
Sorry.
I'm sorry
But
about
yeah,
that cough. Mainstream industry as a whole.
yeah.
Yes. Uh,
Hack cough mainstream. Come on, y'all.
and
Entertain the
it's
audience
crazy because I
first,
never thought
message
I would be that.
secondary. Yeah. Uh so metal trading cards. If maybe win, you get to 10,000
Oh,
and then
like I feel like at this point, like if we hit nine, like I mean, we're $120 away from hitting 9K. So like
yeah. I
if
mean,
you
it's
guys
it's
make that
it's within
happen tonight,
striking
as I
distance.
said, I'm gonna raffle off a piece of art of an original character that has not been revealed to anybody yet.
Ooh.
Actually, that's technically not true, but like it has not been revealed to the public
Not
yet.
revealed to the public. Shh.
Um, but
Exclusive, y'all.
yeah, so on a 18 by 24 piece of paper, I will raffle it off if we hit 9K here by the end of the night. I won't do by the end
Okay.
of the stream because I don't want to put that much pressure on Luke.
Well, I honestly, we've gone over what I normally do for a new book. Who dis? But I've been trying to get you to come on for a little while, and we kind of shot the shit for a little while, and you were gracious enough to allow me to move it. So let's go back up and take a look at the tiers, and let's get people let's let people know what exactly they can get. We've gone over the stretch goals and we know the goodies. Now let's see what they're buying. So one of each. Tell me about this right here.
All right, so the one of each tier. Unfortunately, I couldn't edit this to include the C cover, but everyone
Mhm.
that's backed this and continues to back this will also be getting the B variant of the special edition. This gets you a copy of every cover of the book. It gets you that
Okay.
collector box, and
That
then on
sexy
top,
collector box.
yeah, sexy collector box,
That's right.
sexy collector box.
Sexy.
Anyway,
The sexy
um,
collector box. You
but then
know
the
you
other
want
big
it.
thing that you get with this is you get a free copy of the book that you can only get through
Mhm.
this tier, and that is the Spectral Edition. As I said in the pitch, it's like the Crow is a heavy inspiration for this, and when I was initially looking to do in the Embrace, I wanted it to be completely black and white. Um, and
Yeah.
so when we got some color in on the design, it was like, okay, yeah, this has to be in color. But Dean and I were talking, we're like, what if we offered a version of this book that wasn't just like you're effectively an ash can,
Right.
like a glorified ash can. No, like we're giving you a full noir experience of the Embrace. Dean's going through and adding lighting effects, stuff like that. So it doesn't just
Ooh.
feel like, oh, well, here are the inked pages of the book with some letters on. This
All
is,
right.
and we will be doing spectral editions for every edition, for every book of the Embrace, and they will only be available through the featured tier. We're only printing what we need from the order. You know, like however many we need,
Right.
we're printing that exact amount. They go out. no more get printed. And so by the time the Embrace finishes,
Right.
every single person that got those Spectral editions will have an entire collection of the Embrace in black and white, as I guess kind of how I originally intended it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it'll have
Wow.
effectively cost them nothing, but it will be
Right.
worth a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, lower print run.
Yeah.
Just enough, as many as are required. I mean, and obviously a couple, just in case some get damaged.
Yeah, like there'd be like one or two extras for me and him to
Yeah.
have, and then obviously like a few just in case somebody gets theirs damaged. But with
Right.
how with my track record on fulfillment, if anyone gets their books damaged, I'm gonna be pissed because I've worked very, 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 very fucking hard to
Yeah.
make sure that people
Hey
get their books.
man, my Elysian Fields books showed up perfect and pristine with that beautiful holofoil.
Yes,
Shiny and beautiful.
shiny and beautiful.
Shiny and beautiful. So that is the featured perk here, and that's a hell of a deal. You get all three of those covers.
You get
And
four.
four. Oh, that's right. Shit. Four.
You get the special edition B variant as well. I can't list
Right.
once
Yeah,
a
you
tier
can't.
once somebody's purchased a tier, I can't edit it.
Right.
Um
So you can't change can't change the picture.
and rather than and I don't want to just completely remove the tier
Of course not.
and replace it
Well,
because that looks
if they're not paying attention, they're saying, "Oh, these," and then it'll show up with another book. I mean, they'll just be excited.
sweeten
What
the
happened?
deal. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. What's going on, Jay Lee? Thanks for coming to hang out, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, so the Embrace Standard Edition. So how many? 30 plus page. I was about to say. I
No,
never asked you how many pages.
it's 40 pages of story.
Oh, 40
Um
pages. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
All right.
so again, this is one of those things where I thought that I had changed all of them. The
Okay.
base story of the book is 40 pages. It's
Hmm.
around I think it's like a 35 pages and then a 5-page epilogue. Um and then
Nice.
once you include like graphics and then the fan art gallery, which is in all the books, the standard book comes out to 48 pages, and then I'm expecting the special edition to be around 56. It'll be,
Wow.
yeah, because the special edition has an extensive art gallery of all of our character pages and variant covers, and then it also has a copy of the script of the Embrace.
All right. Wow. Okay. So Dean is not joking. The Ultimate Collector's Book, the Spectral Edition. All right, y'all.
Yeah, and so
You
that's
heard
the
it here.
spectral edition is effectively the special edition of the book, except it's all in black. It is a black and white experience. But then the special
Nice.
edition of the book, like the Barton Brothers cover and the B variant of the special edition, is 56 pages. Those are the
Nice.
ones that are 25. Um,
Okay. So
but yeah, and then we have the O'Reilly B variant, which is you know
gorgeous.
absolutely stunning. Jim O'Reilly and Sigmund Torre just fucking blew that thing out of the
Oh
water.
yeah. Definitely killed it.
And as shown prior, that is going to be holofoil, and
Right.
yeah,
That's gonna look sexy. That's
yeah, it
gonna look
is.
sexy. And special Barton Bros edition. Uh and then this is the one that you were saying that's going to be the did you say this is going to be the 56?
That's going to have 56. The
Okay.
one beneath it's going to have 56, and the Spectral edition is going to have 56.
Ooh, so pretty. I love that cover. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Man, like I love all these covers, dude. Damn it. Why
throw us money,
why you
Luke.
do this? I know why
Throw
you
us
do this.
money, Luke. Throw it at us.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let me reach into the bottomless wallet and I will find. But yeah, dude.
And then we have
This
our
is
one of
great.
each tier tot signed.
Yep.
And so how this works is you get the one of each package, except we send the Barton Brothers edition. That version of the book gets sent to Australia, where Clayton,
Oh, no
Corey,
way.
Dean, all of them sign it.
Wow. All right. I mean, that's wow.
So like it's 125, and then I think I charge 25 for shipping on that because
Well, yeah.
it
I mean, trying
it
to
it
having to ship things to Australia. That's
like me shipping it there isn't going to be too bad. I use Pirate Ship, and Pirate Ship
right.
I don't pay more than $17 for
Right.
international shipping. 17
But
to
I
18
mean,
bucks.
can you set up like a label ahead of time that they can just
I
send it?
can't for them coming back because we're going to get hit hard on that thing coming back. But like
Oh yeah.
if I have it at 25 for everyone, it should pay the dividends. And only 10 of
Should
those
balance out.
only 10 of those are available.
Right.
I guess actually only 9 of them are because one's already been claimed.
Sure. Yeah. Nine of them. Yeah. What's up, Slipstick? Thanks for coming to hang out. We are talking the embrace, and we're going over the tiers right now. And we
Woo.
were talking, interior art page and book. Get a signed interior page from the embrace. We have picked the top 10 best pages. I didn't say best. It's not in there, but I said best from the book. And these pages will be signed by artist Dean James. Book included with choice of cover. No shipping.
Yep. So that's the
Nice.
thing is all of our original art in this for this book has no shipping costs attached to it. You pay the price there, you get your original piece of art, and you get
Wow.
your book.
Uh-huh.
We handle the shipping. We consider it a thank you for investing that kind of money in us. You get the we take care of that.
That's awesome. So I didn't realize you're Dean, you're working traditionally? Like
He was doing digital initially, and then digitally entirely initially, and then
right.
one of his when he did the auction, people were like, dude, your traditional pencils are fucking killer.
There you go.
Um,
Ah,
and so he's been doing the pages traditional pencils ever since,
yeah.
and like he still inks it digitally, but let me tell you, man, those pencils are fucking awesome,
That's
and
awesome, man.
like more
They
than
actually
worth it.
turn out better. Hey, you know what?
I honestly,
Every artist finds their groove. I've recently embraced the digital penciling and then printing out on Bristol board and inking traditionally. That's what I did with the piece for Jason's campaign, the Breton
so
piece.
this is what I will say about Dean's pencils. His traditional pencils are so good that I honestly feel that that is an underpriced tier.
There you go.
I think we could have very easily put that at 250,
Well,
and it would.
then that means everybody needs to jump on it now while the pages are, cheaper. Well, they are more available because they're only going to go up from here. That's for sure.
Yeah. So this is the last of the cover pieces available. So uh um this is the Embrace standard edition cover, which is an homage to Death in the Family,
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
it
Okay. I you
it
know I hadn't made that connection until you just said that, but I totally see it now. I mean,
yeah
I'm not super into DC, so
when we were trying to figure out what to do for the main cover, we were talking about like our favorite comic book covers, and we both immediately agreed like we are not doing another fucking homage to Spider-Man 300 for the love of fucking.
no, please. Like I mean, it's cool and all, but I'm really over it. Like I'm
Everyone's fucking sick of it.
really over it.
Everyone's sick of it. It's like, okay, yeah, this works for Todd McFarlane drawing Spider-Man, and for like
Hmm.
no one else. Everyone else has this fucking cover. Their characters look so awkward in that pose. Why are we doing this? I get it.
Exactly. I mean, it's the nostalgia thing. It's the homage thing. I get it, but it's been done to
Yeah,
death at this point.
there's so many other covers that you can do homages to.
Jay says he does traditional. He still does traditional pencils and inks. Hey, I don't know. It's this is a flow that's worked for me recently, but I mean, I used to be just the same way. Traditional pencils, inks, then scan it in. Maybe digital colors. But I don't know. Being able to resize things and move things around digitally, and then bring it out and bam, just get to it with ink and brush. I don't know. It seems to be working for me. But like I said, every artist finds their flow, whatever works best for them. My buddy Plagal, the contest winner on here, he works traditionally. That's what he do, and he is Speedy Gonzalez with it. On this 9-hour stream I was on with him, he got like 6 or 7 commissions done, a couple of pages on Goblin Girl, and I'm
Days with
chugging along on my one single image, but I
it
got the
makes
pencils
no
done.
sense. It makes no sense how fast he is. Like my jaw fucking drops,
Insane.
man.
Hmm.
I don't get it.
See, even Jay says, hell no, no more Spidey 300.
And then Dean was like, maybe for
Maybe
his
for
greatest issue
issue
three.
3.
No, Dean,
No,
not at
no,
all. It will
yeah.
not it will not be on any of our covers.
Play around with ink, on something that you're not worried about. Then you might feel differently. And try nibs, try brush, try markers, pens, you know, find something that works for you. But yeah, inking traditionally, there's a feel like with the nib, the scratching of the paper with a brush, the way it kind of glides across the page and then you flicks, and I don't know, there's subtleties that I can get with a brush that I can't get with digital when it comes to inking. So let's see. Silvar dropping the links in the chat. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, homie. And Perfect 10 issue 2. Slip 6 says I'm over DC and Marvel. Yeah, I think that's the whole reason why we're all here, man. We had hope that we would find our superheroes being superheroes again, and they've kind of just I don't know, toddled off into no man's land. So we are creating our own myths now, guys. So this is what we do,
It's what happens when everyone just wants to fucking deconstruct their favorite characters because they think that they're the next fucking coming of Alan Moore.
Well, you know what? Nobody is Alan Moore, and I'm glad. We don't need more Alan Moore. Like what okay, if you deconstruct everything, what happens, if there's nobody around to put the pieces back to fucking together?
Yeah, they
Like
don't
you
care
end up
about
with
just like
pieces.
I want to make my sad Batman story. I want to make him
Ugh,
sad and more sad and more sad. It's like, dude, he's
ugh,
already a fucking depressed billionaire obsessed with
ugh.
the murder of his parents. We don't need, we don't need
No.
it to get any more depressing than that. Make him build himself up through this, man. Nope. Must make him depressed. Must make him must destroy him. Must
Yeah.
take him.
Well, uh that's the thing. It was told to me a long time ago that gods create, demigods destroy, because that's the only thing they can do. They can't actually create something out of nothing. They have to I don't know, make something derivative, and if they can't do that, then they have to destroy what came before in order to make their derivative thing seem like it stands on its own merit, which it doesn't. you know
While I
what's
appreciate the
up, Edmund?
profoundness of that statement, I think calling them demigods is giving them too much fucking credit because
eh, you know
Hercules and Achilles are way more badass than these fucking writers.
Fair enough, but you take my meaning.
No, I
Gods
got you.
create,
I'm just
the
messing
petty
around. You know
destroy.
me. I'm a mythology nut.
Oh, I know,
Um,
I know. And you know what? One of these days we're going to sit down and do a mythology stream. Just
oh, dude,
hang out,
we need
chill.
to get Will in on that, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Me,
absolutely.
Will, Joe. uh, that's what needs to happen. Is just
Oh yeah,
us going.
and
No
you knew what
bar.
this was. Coming into this, this is gonna be a mythology talk. All right, so the title page, OG art gone. The
Yeah.
Clayton Barton digital art gone.
Yeah, you
Wow.
guys missed that literally today. Like that got purchased today.
Oh, see. This is how it's moving. This is how it's moving, y'all. But yeah, we did have fun with Donald and Fraga earlier. Yeah, it was a good stream early. Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed, go subscribe to my buddy Jason, Unhinged Entertainment, over on YouTube. I will get. It's actually one of my featured channels. Anyway, he's we do topic lists on his channel every other week. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about this book, dude. It looks fantastic. I mean, the subject matter, like you said, is, yeah, it's dark, but the levity. I think you're going to do a good job with the levity and making it accessible to, people that maybe don't necessarily go for the whole horror aspect. Because like you said, it is still a superhero story. It's not, dark death and dismemberment like most of my shit is.
Yeah. and that's definitely not something that we have happen in the book. Like there is I would equate the violence that you'd see in this to like stuff you'd see in a 90s run of Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Like
Beautiful.
I think that's
Oh, I
a
love
pretty
90s
accurate,
Ghost Rider.
we're right where I said, like it's definitely got the violence there, but none of it's
Right.
done in a way where you're like, oh man, really? That guy just got his intestines ripped out. That's fucked.
Wow, they are all over the street. Look at them go. Yeah. I mean, there's a time and a place for that, but sometimes you just need, just the hint of it. You let the imagination fill in the gaps for it.
100%. That's
Yeah.
what that's like the rule number one of horror, right?
Well, I mean,
Don't.
as the monster, if you hide it in shadows and you give hints and sneaks of it, you don't really full blown show the monster. It
Well,
allows the audience's imagination to make something much more scary, and it involves the audience
even with
more.
the kill,
Mhm.
Alfred Hitchcock's whole thing was that you would never see the actual act of the death. It was they would scream. You might see an arm raised with a knife, and you'd get a horrifying shrill sound. Because at the end of the day, what we can picture in our head, the image that
Thanks
we
for
can
coming to
come up
hang,
with in
Jay.
our head is far more terrifying.
Oh,
But
absolutely. Imagination will always come up with something much more, terrifying or horrifying than anything that is in reality. I mean, look at how, anxiety can spin us up into, thinking things that aren't even real, not believing things just because, oh, it must be this way, our mind is a is a scary place to be. It will
yeah,
create demons that will torture you endlessly if you allow it. So any questions out there for my homie Michael about the embrace, about his views on story, anything, any questions before we wrap up? I really I'm so proud of him for this piece. Like, hot damn.
Dan fucking knocked it out of the park,
He
and
did,
I love
man.
the fact that he still figured out a way to throw fucking gigantic knockers in there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he don't call himself Boob Dan out for
I
nothing,
know,
you
I
know.
know, but that was the whole thing. Is like this is a rarity, and it's like playing Where's Waldo, except with massive tits. It's like where are the boobs?
Where are the boobs? And since I was talking about the epic 9-hour stream, I will go ahead and show this. Now, when one is on the Boob Dan channel, let's see. Stop screen. When one is on the Boob Dan channel, one does have to draw the boobs. So I went ahead and drew the boobs for the Goblin Girl the other day. So I have been inspired, and I gotta say, starting my day drawing the boobs made for a much happier day. Just felt lighter, felt happier. Outlook on life was a lot better. I don't know. I don't
I
know if there
mean,
was a
hey,
correlation. It's just
with knockers like that, who can blame you, right?
mhm. Right. So there you go. There's a little dose of cleavage going on. Uh-huh. Flying
And so
feline
before
smirking
I
over
forget,
there. I see you
since
smirky.
we
He's
are rolling down.
ridiculous.
He is
He did it
ridiculous.
in like an hour too. I know, Dean. I know. You know what? You're like, come hang on one of the bullpen streams that we've been doing, and you'll see just how speedy Mr. Gonzalez
Dude,
is there.
I've hung out on his morning streams
Mm-hmm.
where like
Yep.
I think it was the one where he was coloring the second set of cards for Phil Diaz for Magicop.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like he started off and they were like completely black and white, and
Thank you,
within like
Silva. I
30
appreciate it.
minutes they were not only colored, they were like pristine. And I was like, Danny the Dick.
He's good, man. You know, he's I don't know, he's got it down to a science, man. You know, this
He
is
does,
what he
man.
do.
He's really good.
Hail Silva, I appreciate you, homie. No questions for anybody.
Well,
No
before we
questions.
roll out, there was one thing that I promised that I would do.
Yes.
So as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, up on our Facebook and even on our Patreon, we announced our first fully exclusive webtoon series called Errand of the Sable Knight. And so what I'm going to put up here on the screen is our logo, the synopsis, which I'll read out loud, and it also has a QR code that takes you straight to our Patreon page where we have multiple tiers of which you can support us and get exclusive looks at all Nine Realms projects while we're in production with them, and keep you best up to date with everything that we're trying to do in this industry. So,
Hell yeah.
without further ado, let's get this bad boy up here.
Share that shit. Add to stream.
All right.
Now let's see if I make it. Now that really does not make it any bigger.
Here, let me try full screen in it, if that'll help. Did that help at all?
I was just, I mean, that's slightly bigger. I was just trying to give them a big enough thing to maybe scan the QR code from the screen. But anyway,
If they're on their laptop, they should be able to just bring their phone camera up, and it should work just fine.
Excellent.
So the story is Arthur is gone. Camelot is fallen, and her once mightiest knight, the Sable Knight Sir Pellinor, uses his last years chasing a phantom, death itself. His purpose, to redeem his greatest failing of chivalry, to use the Holy Grail as a bartering chip for the soul of a daughter whose death lies solely on his shoulders. The journey is perilous, and the once mighty knight is past his prime, and so he must traverse a fallen kingdom riddled with barbarian invaders and specters of comrade and foe alike that haunt a once hallowed kingdom. We have a
Hell yeah.
fantastic team on that book. We've got Dino Agor is doing our line art. Avery Ferdinand and Dino is worked on Harlan Buck Free Sword, which is a big indie book that I've and Avery Ferdinand, as I said, he's the guy that I brought in for Elysian Fields. You know, he's doing that. I'm obviously doing I'm obviously handling the writing aspect of things, and then I have Chuck Pinot is working as our editor on that. And yeah, no, it's going to be a fantastic book, and it's very unique. It's what I'm calling a graphic story book, where I have written the script pretty much in prose, and what we're doing is that the artist will be reading the prose, making cohesive pieces of art, and what's not told visually, I take that prose and we put it and get it lettered in on the page.
Wow. Hot damn, dude. I love it. I love it. When you started talking about writing it out in prose and then translating that to the page, that reminded me of being, younger. And I don't know if you can see up on the wall up here, but I've got some old X-Men, Spider-Man, Avengers, characters, but they're novels. right?
Yeah.
Christopher Golden wrote a series of X-Men novels that called the Mutant Empire book series, and as a kid to practice, I would pull scenes out of the prose, and I would construct pages based on the descriptions. So I think that's a great way to tell a story, and that also leaves you open to do like the kind of illustrated novel. You could have you ever read Poison Elves, Odin?
Yeah, no, like, and that's
Okay.
like like so what I kind of envision it as is that pages where there isn't, but where it's not, it's mainly exposition and everything. It'll
Right.
be kind of like just giant splash pages with little narration
Hmm.
uh boxes around it to tell the story elements that can't be done through the visuals because it's a splash page. But then all
Right.
the action sequences and dialogue exchanges will be sequential work, and then that'll be where like you actually have like like solid lettering and everything like that. And so like the other big thing is I'm a huge Arthurian lore nut, so uh I've written the script in proto Arthurian prose, where I give it enough of I've thrown a little bit of modernness into it so that people can have an easier time piecing together things with context, because it has that because it also still has that very flowery old English style
Right.
uh, uh, of uh, of language. So
Hmm.
yeah,
I mean, if anybody's going to be able to pull that off, I imagine it'll be you, homie. I mean, this is your wheelhouse.
it is it is definitely one of my fortes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I don't know, and I can tell that you're excited about it. You're excited about the embrace. You're excited about the errant knight as well. And that's the kind of excitement that I want to support. That's what I want to do with my channel. I want to support that energy, like that desire to tell good stories and entertain the audience, and have fun with it. Bring the fun back. I mean, that's what we all about here, right? That's, by the way, you bastards, El Gargoyle bringing eggplant to a sauce made
We're
English
having a
slung that
blast
way,
in the chat,
and
man.
then slipstick. LOL. He, I'm listening to Odin talk, and I read that, and I'm trying not to laugh at you bastards while he's telling me
Dude,
about
if it
the
makes you feel any better, like I've had the comments thing open the entire time, and I've
air.
been battling my ADD something fierce. While I'm like going through and talking about all this stuff, and
Mhm.
they're throwing eggplants around and talking about
Oh
jerking
yeah.
each other off. It's fucking awesome. It's
Mhm.
great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got we got a great audience here, man. It's good peeps all around. As Silvar says, the audience that hangs out with Red Valkyrie and Topicless, we got some good peeps to come hang out. All right, y'all. We gonna go ahead and wrap this up unless anybody's got any kind of question. Any kind of question at all. I mean, I got a question. Is there any character that any other character that you would like to do a crossover with, with the Embrace, since superhero, superhero genre, like, is there another character you'd like to do a crossover with?
So there are actually two characters I would love to do crossovers with. They're not
Yeah.
technically superheroes, but I think
Mhm.
they'd be really fun to have the Embrace crossover.
Yeah.
And that would be either Thomas Moira or
Yes.
God's Hand.
Oh, dude. Yes. Talk
Yeah, yeah. Anthony Figueroa fucking knocked
talk
that out of
talk
the
to my
park,
boy.
right?
Talk to my
Yeah,
boy.
he's such a good
Yes.
dude. I fucking love him.
Yeah, he's good dude. He's good peeps, definitely.
Oh,
I would
we do
definitely
have a
like that.
question. We do
Oh,
have a question. What are all the hands made out of? And I guess Dean technically answered it. So everything with the suit is powered by the soul of David. So it's ghosts. It's spiritual energy. Like that's what it like it.
hmm.
And the hands are symbolic of the bond that they share. The fact that the embrace is them coming together. and embrace. Like that's what forms the character.
That's awesome. And the bond is what, the bond and the power is what powers it.
Yeah.
Allows the spiritual power to flow, I would imagine.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. And again, that's something very cool that you can play with as well. Because I mean, what happens if something happens to the suit? Is the son's soul in danger? I mean, that could be fun.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but
No, I don't. Listen, this is just me
look, man.
speculating. This is my brain taking the concepts that you given and put out there and going, huh, what about this? What about that? And see, that's the thing. If you want to know, if you got questions like I do, you need to jump on this. Let's see if we can get let's see if we can get our boy up to 9,000, huh? Come on.
Yeah, if we can do that tonight, as I said, I will raffle away an original piece.
An original piece. It's
Yeah.
all spooge jokes. Yeah. The
Yeah.
accumulation, not the actual spooge, just the jokes. The jokes all the time. That's what makes up the hands and the arms and the white stuff. But seriously, folks. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I've actually been in this chair for quite a few hours. I guess the 9-hour stream, 10-hour for Plagal. I've prepared me for this so I can just do one stream after another. But this was fun, man. Thank you for coming to hang out. And we go and do a what's in the box. And Dean, when we do what's in the box, you got to come hang out too. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
seriously.
We'll make sure that he gets his permission slip signed by his parents. So like that's the real reason why Dean didn't come on earlier, is we hadn't gotten the
Oh,
parental permission slip done. It's
oh, I see. Well, contains adult content. I mean, I should walk. I should, you know what? I should actually put this on a shirt and just walk around with this on a
I'm
shirt.
fairly
Because that,
certain that there is a shirt that
I
has
mean,
that on it.
it defines me pretty well. Oh, I forgot I had this one. Yeah,
God, I love that movie. It's
same.
not a particularly good representation of the book, but it is a
Well,
phenomenal film.
I gotta admit, I like the musician aspect, and it kind of plays into the whole mood that
No, 100. I get it. It's
right.
just it also there are things that they did with specific characters where I was like, man,
Mhm.
you guys really did, like Fun Boy. They did really dirty, because in the movie
Yeah.
he's a complete piece of shit, but in the book he's actually like the only he's the only one of them that you feel even remotely sorry for.
Yeah, and I will admit I always wondered why they did that.
Yeah.
I wonder why they chose him to be like the absolute like almost irredeemable piece of shit in the
Yeah, like
movie.
he's easily one of the worst members of the crew.
In the movie, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Easy scapegoat, perhaps.
maybe
Who
I don't
knows?
know.
Who knows? All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up because it is time to go.